Hello, friends. This is Christopher Davis-Shannon, and today I'm hopping over to Spain and checking in with my friend Choan Galvez. Choan, how are you doing today?
Fine. Thank you for having me.
It's so great to see you on screen. Would you mind just kicking us off with a tune? That was not at all what I was expecting to hear first from you. That was a very pleasant surprise. I feel partially responsible for that song too.
But actually, this is one of my warm-up songs.
Is it?
Most of the time, I pick up a ukulele, play this one.
Oh, is that your own arrangement of the tune?
Yes.
That's a wonderful one. It's a nice tune to just like start getting around 2-5-1s, like the entire song, how to navigate them. It's like a masterclass in 2-5s. So you're, besides playing old songs and writing arrangements, you're a composer of ukulele, and that's kind of how I first came across the music that you do is some of the pieces that you had written. And there's not many people writing out there for contemporary ukulele outside of the singer-songwriter world. You know, you are writing, instrumental pieces for you, utilizing a lot of the older styles, but also some more contemporary things. And you've put out quite a decent body of work in instrumental ukulele writing. What drew you to ukulele as far as being your primary instrument that you're now writing for?
I think we need to recapitulate a little on my musical story. By the end of last century, do you remember?
I was there.
I was playing classical guitar, and I made my composition on classical guitar. I also played electric, acoustic, and many kinds of guitars in many styles. But my instrument for composing was a classical guitar in the style of the same pieces that I was playing. So whenever I got to playing some Villalobos, I adopted kind of some voices and those kind of things. If I was playing Jorge Morel, I brought his rhythms. And then I moved from my hometown to Barcelona, started kind of more adult life with a day job, etc. And I quit composing, quit playing guitar. For many years, I didn't have almost no relationship with music. From, of course, listening to music and going to concerts, but I wasn't playing. Then sometime, I decided to collect instruments, cheap instruments, because I wanted a lot of instruments, not great instruments. But then I bought a Buzuki, Cuban Tres, extended my collection of guitars, of course. And then as I was into, what's the term in English? Popular Brazilian music, bossa nova and that kind of things.
Oh, yeah.
So get to the coro and the roda styles. And then I was very interested in buying a cavaquinho. And then I started looking in the shops for a cavaquinho, but I couldn't find any. Then one day I saw a shop, saw an instrument. That's for me. It's a cavaquinho. I entered the music store and they, hey, I want to buy that cavaquinho. And they told me, it's a ukulele. So then I thought, okay, I have no idea what that is. how much does it cost? And it was cheap enough, so I bought it. I brought it home, and then I had to understand how it was toned and what to do with it. And I think the first thing the first three or between the first music that I discovered in the ukulele was Shimabukuro, James Hill,
Yeah.
and then John King and Lyle Rich. So with Hill and Shimabukuro, I said, wow, ooh, wow, ooh, wow. But when I discovered John King,
Yeah.
and I immediately thought that was the thing I wanted to do. The kind of virtuosistic athleticism that Shimabukuro and James Hill were showing at the moment, because I think their careers are evolved differently, and now James Hill is kind of a songwriter with full of soul, and that was 2009, 2008. At the moment, he was playing fireworks all the time. So when I saw John King playing Campanella, I said, okay, I have a string that is absolutely out of place from where it came, but there's something that I can do with this. So I bought one of the books, and I started creating my own arrangement in the same style, and the same kind of thing with Lyle Rich. So with a pair of books, because there was actually not so much videos to learn from, and I can assure you that I haven't learned one of the songs of the first book of John King fully 10 years.
Yeah.
And I haven't played any complete, but all the tricks and kind of movements that I discovered there prompted me to start working on Celtic arrangements for the ukulele, playing the Campanella style.
Yeah.
And I still wasn't composing. I doodled a lot with the ukulele, got the string styles, played some things, made some arrangements. But then one day, my wife couldn't get to sleep, and I told her I would play a lullaby for her. But I didn't know how to play a new lullaby, so I invented one at the moment. And long story. And that's the moment when my career of a famous, very rich ukulele composer started. So I did some things, but didn't became so interested in making additional music until my little child was born, and then I started playing for her. Every time she was not on my arms, I played the ukulele for her, and started creating music. And when I have it in my arms, I sang and later translated the things I sang to the ukulele, and started creating a bunch of lullabies. I have like two or three books written that little pieces of 1 minute, very simple.
Yeah.
And many of them haven't seen the light, and I haven't never made videos, and I couldn't remember if I haven't written down. So yeah, I'll give one advice for anyone who plays music: learn to write in some or other way, because anything you create and notate, it's later for taking a new life for it. So if you write a fragment of music and you don't know what to do with it at the moment, maybe 2 or 3 years later, you will find the notebook and you create something.
Yeah. I do that a lot
again.
myself. Get fragments, and eventually it becomes something after years.
So I continued writing for the ukulele because I don't know if you've know about the FAWM, FAWM. It's the February Album Writing Month project.
Okay.
It's a website and a community that every February proposes its community to write 14 songs along the month of February in order to record an album sometime. So in 2018, I joined this community. Didn't finish the 14, but I wrote 11, I think. Quite good pieces. Some of them I haven't been able to play it.
I know.
out of technical incapability. So,
Yeah.
in fact, I gave one to a friend in case he wants to play and he's studying because I can't do what I wrote.
Yeah.
And then I thought, okay, why not doing an album with part of what I've done? And as releasing a ukulele album these days is quite cheap, as long as you have a mic and a computer and a digital interface, some knowledge, time, silence. You can do it. I won't say it's free because you have like 2,000 euros in equipment that you have invested alone.
Right.
But you don't need to pay for a studio, and you can learn lots of things. So I published a first record in, I think it was June 2018. It was quite welcome, of course, in a very niche market. So I think for what I do, I have lots of followers. Maybe no one outside this little wall knows about me, but I'm very happy with having this kind of community that listens and comments and pushes me to do more things, because anytime I do something and I get comments, positive or not,
Right.
and I know the world is listening, that forced me to do something more.
Yeah.
So then, as I had so many music written, I thought, okay, now that I've done this one, let's do another one, because I don't need to write anything new. I have like 5 years of music written. So I took another 10 pieces and make another album. That was Lullabies for Astronauts. This one was everything music that I consider lullabies. Some people tell me that they wouldn't get to sleep with that music, but I have previously tested everything with my little lady. In fact, before recording the album, I have everything recorded on videos. I made a playlist, and I used that playlist like for 2 or 3 months to put her to sleep. And
so they're not just titleless lullabies; they are in fact lullabies for your child that you wrote.
Yes, yeah.
So cool.
I think they may not work for everybody, but the little lady learned so well the music that he always get to sleep just by the end of it was like a 20-minute playlist, and it was finishing the playlist and
and you know you did it right.
Moment.
Yeah,
I think so. But beware, because if you try to write lullabies, one problem that I met is that I kept like that while writing, because I used to write at night or in the very morning. So usually in times that I was not very fresh, but I was with the ukulele writing pencil paper, and like it was difficult.
Joe, could you play us one of the lullabies? So people can hear what you're about. That would be lovely.
I will play one that I've never recorded. Well, I've recorded many times. I'll throw it to the bin. This is Dream Big, Little Monster.
That was a beautiful piece, Choan.
Still awake?
I'm still here. I've been drinking coffee. One of my favorite things about all the recordings that you release is that you also write out all of the songs in tabs and notation so that other people can play this music, which I wish more people would do. What inspired you to start releasing the actual music to play along with your album?
Well, the thing is, since I started playing the ukulele, I wanted to create a method to learn to play ukulele, and I still want to. Thing is, I've never been as organized as needed to put things, to solve things and create the levels and organize everything. So in order to have a progressive repertoire. But I've always intended to do that. So I thought, okay, I don't have it organized. It's not sorted, but exists. So let's put it there. Thing is, it's a market so small that I guess most of my sales came from people that actually wants to read the music and try to learn and play. Because, okay, I think my albums are nice and I like them, but it's not music for every day, not for every people.
Right.
It's not the kind of music that you put on the car to make a long drive.
Yeah, I will dispute that, Choan. I have put on lullabies for astronauts on drives before. At night, it's a beautiful album, as long as you don't sleep.
I think it's a little dangerous.
Yeah, it might be, but it's such a relaxing album. One of the other things that I really enjoy about your writing, and actually specifically that album, which I play through those tunes from time to time, is that a lot of it's really accessible even to like beginner players, and then some of it's really hard. Some of the stuff that you write is really tough.
Yes.
Have a really range of difficulty in your composing, which I enjoy, which makes some of these pieces they're so beautiful, but some of them are so simple to actually play. And I think that's a great thing.
I don't know, because for me it's easier to play the difficult ones than the easier ones. Because if when I play something that it's intricate fingerings and crazy rhythms and that kind of things, you are doing kind of gymnastic that you can do it or no. Yeah. But when you play something simple, a simple campanella piece with every note resonating, you have to get so concentrated on getting the tone every note should last till this point. And so I think some of the pieces that requires more takes were that main simple rhythms, but getting to create all the atmosphere with just these notes.
Yeah.
So, because you can mask the same way that you can mask, let's say, some guitar limitations when you're playing with a rock band. If you're playing with a rock band, you need to know how to play. But I've made many concerts, and I guess every musician has made many concerts where they say, "Oh, that was terrible. I played really bad tonight," and no one noticed.
Yeah.
When playing with a band,
with the simpler pieces can be absolutely harder to play because the nuance involved, and especially campanella style, getting the sustain for every note that you really need in slower, simpler pieces is really hard.
and staying on tempo. It's when you're playing a slow piece and you have this kind of, you're playing like every eight, something that keeps a continuous rhythm, but then you get a different rhythm, and if you're playing on your own, you play anything, because some of the pieces that I recorded over a click track were just a nightmare, because I could play I'd say the easy part on the beat with no problem, and then when the difficult part came, I speed up a lot. So I have to practice, and what I do these days is practice with the metronome, learn the pieces over the metronome, but then when I record, unless it's something for a student that needs to keep on the beat, I take out the click track, and I don't even create a click track on my solo projects. So I practice the tempo before to get them out and play that kind of rubato thing, but after learning to play technically on the beat. And what was the question?
Yeah, I don't remember anymore, but had a lot of great points. I mean, tempo is so important and so hard, especially on solo pieces, to keep consistent. Because as you're saying, when you get to the complicated parts, you get to those eighth note descending campanella lines and things such as that. And it's tough not to steamroll into a faster tempo, and you have to bring yourself back so that you still have the beauty of those slower sections, which can be easily lost by the more technical aspects of the song. And I think that's a good point. And also playing with a metronome. I know anyone that's watched my lessons knows that I'm a huge fan of metronomes, but that also means not using them all the time. That's part of using a metronome, is using it in practice, but not in performance, and learning how to really listen to it, work for you.
The thing is, in fact, the first album, it was recorded fully with click track, and I think it's fine, but it lacks some soul. So you need to know how to play on the beat and keep on the beat, but then you need to remove when it's when it keeps you apart from the artistic expression. Yes, and yeah, that's it. Yeah,
no, I agree with you. That's the tough part. Learning to groove with a click is such a hard thing. Which is sometimes it's necessary, and sometimes as a crutch, and it's which are you using it for? Really helps. Joe, would you mind playing us one last piece?
Okay. Some jazz. Okay. With the Barry.
there's a good old favorite. I can't give you anything but love. It's a wonderful one. Choan, thank you so much for joining me and taking the time out of your day to play some music. I'll drop links in the description below for Choan's website and his Patreon, where he actually releases a whole lot of his music over there. It's one of those Patreons that I feel is very much worth your money, just because you get new arrangements nearly every week of songs. It certainly keeps me busy when I say I have nothing to play. So thank you again, Choan. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day.
Thank you for having me.
Would you mind just playing us a little exit music to get us out?